Alright, I hope that this is recording. I'm pretty sure it's recording. Okay, so I really wanted to record this video. I'm sorry if it's a little dark right now. It's literally like, it's like almost 7 over here. And I gotta get to class. But the biggest thing is I wanted to keep this short. I haven't uploaded anything for a little while now. And I'm not looking at the camera. And excuse me. So, listen. I haven't uploaded anything for a while now. I know I haven't. It's not a huge deal. What are there, like 32 subscribers? But listen, all 32 of you are valued in every single way. Unless you're on my social media, then of course you're probably seeing this stuff too. But the biggest thing is that I have a lot of videos in the backlog. Man, I really want to put all of these up. Like, I have 2 interviews that I recorded with actually one entrepreneur who's a good friend of mine, David Matura. Some of you already know him. And another guy, I've been in contact with for a while now through LinkedIn. He used to work at my job. He's a cool guy. And I have interviews recorded. I really want to put them up as soon as possible, but we'll see where we get with that. And then I have 2 other videos recorded. One of them, I think, being interview help, and I'm a little late for that, for career week and things like that. But, I apologize. I've been at school. Things have been a little bit crazy. I suddenly decided that I'm going to Europe right when I graduate, so I'm saving a lot of money for that, working like crazy. My schedule is just absolutely insane. I know that's not an excuse, but I hope to start getting back into YouTube as soon as possible. And a huge part of that is really understanding that, the quality of editing, the quality of formats that I was putting up on the different social outlets, that's not always going to be possible, like to keep up every single version of a video, if that makes sense. So, at the end of the day, I still love to make great thumbnails. I love editing, I love the process. I love using Final Cut Pro and things like that, but ultimately, I think I do need to find the fine line right now until I can hire somebody. So hey, if you're an artist, if you're somebody that works on video editing for a living, if you want to make a little bit of side money, I don't have much, but I'm definitely willing to hire people, and I'll be talking to more people about this over time. But I'm definitely willing to hire someone to upkeep my videos. I think that if I can get somebody to do all the back end work, I can definitely commit to 1 video a week. It's not that hard to get in front of the camera and just start talking about something I'm passionate about. But aside from that, I'm sorry, this is 7 o'clock me right now. If you guys haven't realized, I think one eye is a little smaller than the other right now. But the biggest thing is, hey man, I want to talk a little bit about that Sony Disney split. This is something that I think my last video was about this. If it wasn't like 2 videos ago, I don't remember, but man, it was a huge deal. Clearly, like I still feel the PTSD from this whole moment. And I'm not talking too loud because I know that some people are probably still sleeping within this apartment complex, and the walls are pretty thin here. But the Disney Sony deal had me on edge. Like y'all probably remember if you saw that video. It was really short. Go ahead and check it out. I was mad. Like I was willing to boycott all the Spider-Man movies. I mean, it was a big deal. But I think ultimately, the conclusion that I've come to, I've listened to so many different opinions about this on both ends of the spectrum. So many people that are mad at what happened, so many people that are accepting of what happened, some people that just don't care and are okay as long as the Spider-Man continues. And I have to say that, at the end of the day, I think Sony's going to make some good movies. I think that, after having some time to really think about it realistically, and, those of you who know me directly, y'all know that I'm a very realistic guy. Like, I try to think about things from an outside perspective, try not to let emotion cloud my judgment, though I kind of fuck up with that pretty often. But the biggest thing is that I do think that Sony is not trying to do something that's gonna put them in a hole, you know what I mean? Like, I think that I need a little bit of coffee, but I think that at the end of the day, they want to make a good movie. Like, there's nothing that's going to stop them from making a good movie. I feel like they've learned their lesson from the Amazing Spider-Man series, the Tobey Maguire series. They're not pulling Tom Holland out of the MCU, of the Disney deal, in an effort to lose money. And they know that people are going to be mad. They have a great social media manager on that Spider-Man page, if you guys haven't seen that. At the end of the day, like, they don't want to push out a bad product. That looks bad on them. That looks bad on us. It pisses people off. And, people are already really skeptical of Spider-Man 3. Where is this going to go? Hell, even if Disney and Sony were to bring him back in the MCU right now, it's starting to get a little late in the pre-planning production phase. So like, people would still be skeptical because of all the stuff going on the back end. So my biggest thing is that I think that Spider-Man 3 will take place outside of the MCU, sure, but it will do well and it will continue the story that's been set up, you know, with his identity crisis and everything like that. I think that there's no reason to worry. I think that, you know, Sony's produced enough of these movies and they truly have learned from Marvel. Sure, the people on the upper management need to stay out of this project, but if they bring back John Watts, if they bring back all these writers, the production people that were involved with Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home, they have a strong team that's really going to carry this project with as much passion as it's had before. Nothing's going to change except for the fact that they might not necessarily reference the Edith glasses, or Tony Stark, or any of this sort of thing. You know, I think there's I think there's a lot that could come out of this deal, or deal split, I should say. And, you know, for better or worse, this is how it is. I feel like we just need to start accepting this. You know, Sony made one of the best Spider-Man movies of all time, Spider-Man 2. They made Spider-Verse. You know, I loved Far From Home. It was probably one of my favorite Spider-Man movies as well. And, you know, they have shown that they can produce amazing movies in the past. I don't see why they won't be able to do that in the future. So with that being said, you know, I did want to keep this short. I just kind of want to have my thoughts out there. This is something I wanted to kind of a longer discussion about, but I just wanted to put this up. You know, I felt like my previous video kind of gave off the wrong vibe. You know, the more I think about it, the more I've learned, you know, after that whole 30%, 50%, 70%, whatever you want to talk about, it definitely seems like there was fault on both Sony's and Disney's side. And, you know, people are giving Sony a lot of crap. You know, I understand they've messed up a lot in the past. At the end of the day, I think that, I'm sorry, I had this angled right there, but I think that there's some value to splitting off from Disney. At this point, now we can start telling some original Spider-Man stories without having to rely on the MCU as like a huge backbone. You know, because at the end of the day, the MCU exists, yes, and it has an effect on Spider-Man's world, but Spider-Man still has his own world of allies and enemies to really play off of. So I'm really excited to see what happens with Venom. I'm really excited to see what happens with their other spin-off, Silver and Black, and you know, obviously they're going to be able to use Kraven now, which would be freaking amazing. And hopefully Uncle Ben could show up now. So there's a lot of opportunity here, and I feel like we should give Sony the benefit of the doubt. You know, I myself, you know, I was one of the people that said I would probably boycott Spider-Man 3, but I've changed my mind, you know, based off of everything I've been really listening to, and I'm very open to changing my opinion. You know, this is one of those cases. I think that this movie can really take off, and I'm really excited to see the possibility. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for your time. I hope to do more of these impromptu videos. There's not gonna be any fancy editing, no fancy thumbnails, no fancy social media versions. This is literally going straight up to YouTube right now. Right after recording this, 7 a.m. But I got to run a class 7:30 as like a final review session. But I'm getting off task. Thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate every single one of you all. And with that, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on the social medias, and let's get a conversation going. I love talking about Spider-Man. So whether you know me in person or you just know me through social media, or you know me in some shape or form, you just want to talk about Spider-Man, talk about professional development, talk about, well, I probably would prefer to talk about Spider-Man. Spider-Man is my boy. Listen, I love this guy. So we got to get a conversation going about this guy. Feel free, once again, message me directly. Let's talk a little bit about this. And, yeah, peace out. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. And, yeah, goodbye.